So I'm on an all-out effort campaign pardon push to get as many videos as possible of powerful Trump supporters that are on Cameo. That's the only way to gain access to what I normally wouldn't have. I'm a nobody trying to get my pardon seen, and the only way to have a fair chance of that is to have brainstormed this idea that I did. Otherwise, it's all the insiders, all the elites of DC, all with the access to the president or his people lobbying to get their pardon seen. So this is the way to have a fighting chance. And so I've rounded up a bunch of really cool, powerful videos, some really funny ones, and President Trump knows who all of them are. So I'm putting together that article, presenting them all, tweeting, sharing, getting retweets, trying to get President Trump's attention. And I decided, for the heck of it, why not try to book Michael Cohen, the traitor Michael Cohen, the super flip-flopper, like how he goes from being a Republican to a Democrat just like that all of a sudden, an extreme Democrat at that, I don't know. And then I also booked the Mooch, Scaramucci. So what follows is both of their vids, and I didn't think they were going to do what I asked for, but I didn't think there was a risk to it because they would just decline the booking and I don't lose any money. But instead, true to their form, they took my money. They didn't do what I asked for. But Scaramucci, it was less of a bad video because it served the purpose anyways. He was kind of, at least he said that I hope I get my pardon, and he wasn't so negative about my pardon attempt. But Michael Cohen is so negative, and he is so sure that President Trump will not pardon me or any regular person because President Trump does not care about regular people, and that he will never honor me with a pardon, and I have no chance. He said, stop wasting my time. I'm going to show his messages to me. I'm going to show his video to me. And so, please, President Trump, even if you don't pardon me, please pardon a whole list of regular people. Like, you're going to pardon hundreds of people, right? If you're out the door, please do not leave the White House. Please do not let the Biden mail-in ballot scam win. Do not let him take over. Do not allow it. Do the martial law, whatever. And after this, I'm going to do a very rational, common sense message that Democrats and Republicans, liberals and conservatives can all agree on about mail-in ballots and what happened in our election. And I'm not going to get into conspiracy theories or anything like that, so I don't see who can have anything critical to say about my next video. But alright, so here's Cohen's message to me, his video to me, and Scaramucci's. But Cohen, like, this shows that he's on MSNBC and CNN every day spewing his scripted message, and look how much of a robot he looks like here. It's so much self-promotion. It's like, come on, enough of that. Like, talk about what I asked you to talk about. And then he goes on this whole virus message. It's like, dude, are you with the CDC? Why are you saying all this? And I'll show his message, and then I'll come back on here.
Cole Bartiromo, it's Michael Cohen here, former personal attorney and fixer to former president, soon to be out of the White House, President Donald J. Trump, the podcaster of Mea Culpa, and the author of the #1 New York Times bestseller, Disloyal. So, Cole, I understand that 16 years ago as a child in high school, somehow you had an issue with the SEC that destroyed your life. I'm not really sure how that's even possible. I mean, you're under the age of majority. I'm wild to know exactly what happened with you and what it is that the SEC has done to you, because it just seems so odd. As a lawyer, I've really never even heard of anything like this. And if in fact you're trying to get a presidential pardon, my only suggestion is that you hold off, because I truly believe that right now, all the presidential pardons that are going to be coming out of the White House are not going to be for individuals like yourself, but really for, as we like to call them, the RICO gang, #RICO gang of Donald Trump, with all of his sycophants, including his family, that are going to need the pardons to avoid federal prosecution. Listen, my friend, I certainly wish you the best. Again, I would really love to know what it is that you possibly could have done as a teenager that the SEC would have been involved with. I see that you also want me to hit you up with a retweet or something on Twitter. More than happy to take a look at it. Most important, though, Cole, as I'm sure you're aware, we're losing more people a day right now than we lost in 9/11. And we're having a 9/11 moment each and every single day, thanks to our idiot in chief, who doesn't believe in science, doesn't believe that wearing a mask and safe social distancing are important in order to get this pandemic under control. Well, I'm telling you, as is obviously Dr. Fauci, right, the expert, that it is real, it's dangerous. Please safe social distance as right now we're in the middle of Hanukkah, Christmas, upcoming New Year. Just please stay safe.
Right now, people should not be walking. There's no reason to be walking around with a mask. When you're in the middle of an outbreak, wearing a mask might make people feel a little bit better, and it might even block a droplet, but it's not providing the perfect protection.
Safe social distance, wear a mask, wash your hands, do everything that you can do to help the country to regain itself by knocking out this pandemic. So my friend Cole, you stay safe and you stay strong.
Cole Bartiromo, you're picking the wrong guy, okay, to ask Trump for a pardon for yourself. I'm just letting you know that. You gotta find somebody else, my man. I know Michael Cohen didn't do the job here. It's very hard for me to do the job as well because Trump and I are going to be in a cage match for probably the rest of our lives. But in any event, God bless you, and I hope you get the fair shot against all lobbyists and elites at the pardon. That's what I want for you. But you got bad judgment, bro. You're picking the wrong dude.
So again, please, President Trump, just to spite him, please pardon regular people. Please prove him wrong. Do not give Michael Cohen the satisfaction of being right. It's so discouraging seeing something like that because he knows you so well, supposedly, and it's very discouraging. But I'm not going to give up. Full effort, full steam ahead, until you've announced a huge list of pardons. I hope you're staying another 4 years. If not, NewsBall.com and me building it. We'll see you again in 2024, spreading your message. But please stay in the White House. The mail-in ballot scam cannot be allowed to succeed. That is the destruction of democracy. Anything you do is just offsetting that scam. But President Trump, please pardon regular people. If I'm on that list, great. I don't see why I wouldn't be. Michael Cohen, what the hell does he know? It seems like he's just jealous that someone like me might get a pardon, and then he'll be a felon forever. But and I even told Michael Cohen, President Trump knows I'm the $500 bill guy, the $1,000 bill guy, the gold bar guy. I made an impression on you, President Trump. And Michael Cohen even saw, I showed him the picture of my bloody face and that I got attacked, and President Trump called me a tough cookie. He's like, if anyone's going to get pardoned, that's a regular person, why not me? And I thought presidents pardon whole lists of regular people out the door, but please do not be out the door. Please do not leave the White House. Do not let Biden in. It's unbelievable how much of a freaking scam mail-in ballots were. But anyway, Michael Cohen is talking about Trump killed all these people with the virus. It's because it doesn't matter what Trump's attitude on masks were. It would have had no effect on tens of millions of young people in high school and in college that don't even hear what Trump's saying because they don't care. They're not into politics. And then tough people or depressed people or suicidal people, depressed and suicidal, they don't even shower. They can't even bother getting a job. They don't care about anything. Why would they care about a mask or getting the vaccine? And it's so don't just judge someone for not wanting to wear a mask or as little as possible, or not wanting the vaccine as, oh, that's a crazy Trump supporter, or oh, they're a bad person. No, that doesn't mean that at all. Maybe it just means they're super depressed or suicidal. So if they don't even care about themselves, why would they care about other people? And the risk is so small. And you know what? You should just stop driving while you're at it too, because that's a risk to me. If you're on the road, I'm trying to drive, or you're trying, there's lots of car crashes. It's just so crazy. It's this is life. It is what it is. Viruses come and go, and there's going to be more of them now. So what? It's just every year we're going to mask up. It's no way to live life. not being able to see people's faces, expressions. It's in the social distancing and isolation. No one's talking about the suicide rate exploding and domestic violence. It's so many negative consequences. Like President Trump said, the cure cannot be worse than the problem. But yeah, look at that Michael Cohen video and just see how insincere he is, because he genuinely sounded like he was interested to know like what my story was and how is this possible, and what the SEC did to me. And then when I reached out to him with messages after he gave me that video that was not what I paid him for, he's supposed to decline it and not take my money if he wasn't going to do what I asked him to do, which was to appease President Trump, to suck up to President Trump, and to say, hey, if you pardon anyone regular, it should be someone like your supporter, Colbert Romo, because he bled for you, he's been loyal to you, he owns a news website that says great things all the time about you. But he didn't do that. He just talked all this shit. It's like, dude, you stole my money, and it's not what I paid you for. But look at that. So he sounded sincere to know, like, what did he say about majority too? Like, I'm not of majority age. Yeah, I was a minor, but media didn't seem to care that I was underage. They still put me front page headlines around the country. But yeah, he didn't care. Like, that just shows how insincere his cameo responses. They're just self-promotion. And then when I tried to reach out to him, he didn't acknowledge it or say anything about it, didn't care, didn't have a dialogue. He just cut the messages off. Probably because I told him, hey, and by the way, I don't agree with anything you said about that Trump virus, killing people stuff. Again, because like, there's depressed people, suicidal people, tough people, people like me. Like, it doesn't matter what attitude or position President Trump had about masks. Wasn't going to make me want to wear a mask. Wasn't going to make me wear a mask more than necessary. If I go into a store for a long period of time and have to be in line and I get kicked out otherwise, I'll wear a mask. But when I go into the post office to pick up my mail, I don't wear a mask. I don't need to, because I'm only in there for a minute and I don't care. I don't wear a mask outside. LA is just covered in masks even when they exercise. None of that nonsense. So Michael Cohen, insincere, didn't care about my story, seems surprised, but it's self-promotion, doesn't care. That video from Michael Cohen sums it up. Like, I tried to reach out and say, dude, why'd you even do this booking? You didn't do what I asked for, and you're full of it about the virus being Trump's fault. It has nothing to do with him. The numbers were going to be the numbers. It didn't matter what he had to say about the mask, and plus all the protesters. So you got all the protesters, all the depressed people, all the suicidal people, all the tough people, all the young people, and then people like me, which I'm manic depressive sometimes, I'm kind of tough, whatever. Trump called me a tough cookie after the bloody face and all, but overall I just think I'm in another category where, dude, it's a very like not natural feeling and thing to do, to just see everyone like this. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's survival of the fittest. This world and population has gone on for hundreds and hundreds of years, and now they have this all forced upon us. It just seems like a horrible social experiment, and it's just not natural whatsoever. And even someone I know is like, you're not gonna get the vaccine, and I was like, dude, you've got kids and a wife and a family, so maybe it makes sense for you to get the vaccine, and you're older than me. But why would I get the vaccine? It's not that I'm not. It's not like I'm anti-vaxxer, but I'm not. Why would I be afraid of getting the virus? I live alone, and so why would young people, like, the experts are like, we got to convince everybody that the vaccine is safe. We have to convince them all. It's like, dude, you cannot convince people like me to get the vaccine. I'm not an anti-vaxxer, and yet I'm not going to get the vaccine because I'm not worried about getting the virus, and I'm also not worried about any negative reactions to the vaccine. But when I weigh it all, it's like, tiny chance I'm going to get the virus. Tiny chance of a virus reaction, like a bad reaction, death, apoplectic seizure, whatever. Well, why risk it? Why deal with it? Why put myself through that? Why put some foreign substance in my body when I've never been a drug addict, never done drugs, nothing? I might as well stop driving my car. If I'm worried about the virus, then I should be worried about car crashes too, and a lot of other things. People die way more from way other things than the virus. Yeah, it's way worse than this flu, but you know what? Every year we're going to start having a flu that is like 2 times worse, 4 times worse than what the flu has been. And what is a Biden America going to always have us wearing masks? Every year, hey, it's mask season. Like, dude, you cannot start that precedent. People that want to be extra safe and paranoid, they need to stay locked up. How is the paranoid and the weak controlling the entire population of everybody else? Young people, depressed people, suicidal people, tough people, or neutral, whatever kind of people that like I am, that just want to freaking live our lives and be able to go outside and not have to wear our mask. It's so crazy that the weak and the super paranoid are dictating the entire population that we all have to do what's best for them instead of them staying absolutely locked down and just having their lives affected. It's so insane. And so these Democrats, yeah, it's the same extreme Democrat type of mentality that says Kyle Rittenhouse is a white supremacist based on absolutely nothing, when he's literally volunteering to remove graffiti from walls, literally volunteering to like be a police cadet or something like that. Like, he didn't even shoot minorities. They were white people, so I don't even know like why anyone would ever say he's some white supremacist. Like he just because, oh look, police didn't kill him when he had a gun on him and his hands were up, so he's a white supremacist, he has white privilege. So it's like, oh, police should have shot him, and then they wouldn't have said he's a white supremacist. I don't know, it's so stupid, so trippy. But yeah, Michael Cohen just so easily goes to some Democrat mindset of being cool, calling Kyle Rittenhouse a white supremacist, being cool with like white left-wing media saying that, hey, who cares, I'm a victim of violence, doesn't matter, all that matters, I'm a felon. But with all these police situations with minorities, their felon status, their violent criminal records cannot be talked about at all. Only the police attack against them. But me, the rioters' attack against me doesn't matter, because he's a felon, so he's just he deserved it. He deserved it because he's a felon, and he's a xenophobic racist because he's a Trump supporter. So he deserved it. But all these minorities that have massive violent criminal records, and some bad things happen to them with cops. Only thing that matters is that the bad thing happened to them against the cops. Their violent records and histories, and them being a danger to society doesn't matter, and you can't talk about it. It's so insane. So the stores, they know it, because you can go into the store with anything on your face, right? Like I can tape this to my face. There. If I go into a store like that, they're gonna let me in. No one's gonna kick me out. And there's so many people that just have their masks like this or like this, and half the masks don't even work unless they're N95 grade. All the people with the jerry-rigged t-shirts and everything. It's so dumb. And so it's like they're enforcing this dumbass order to put some material on your face that may or may not cover the whole area, that may or may not be thick enough. But it doesn't matter, as long as you comply with their order and you submit to the store's rule, the governor's rule of this social experiment, you're okay. So that's why you can't take masks seriously as it actually being a legitimate reason. And you can't take a vaccine seriously if you're a young person. There's no reason to get it whatsoever. You are just taking on, you're like getting rid of one risk, which is small to begin with, and then you're just getting another risk, which is a negative reaction to the vaccine. And it's like some man-made thing, and they made it super quickly, and it's miraculously a vaccine. We cured the virus. Here it is. Not gonna trust it. It's not like I'm an anti-vaxxer that I don't trust this stuff, but it's like I don't trust it, not trust it. I don't want to risk trusting it. I don't want to look into it. Maybe it's legit. Maybe it's gonna, in 5 years from now, there's no studies. No time to do studies. Maybe 5-10 years from now, some people are going to die earlier because they took the vaccine. Who knows? But I don't understand anyone that is surprised by, especially by a young person not taking the vaccine, and they're like, "Why aren't you taking the vaccine?" What do you mean? Why are you surprised I'm not taking the vaccine? What would be the reason I'm taking the vaccine?